let's get this party started.
There's superstars in this
What?
continent, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Why not?
party of 3. We've got a monk. We have a cleric of the grave, a shadow monk, and we have a glamour bard.
Zhan Chen?
Yan Chin.
Jin Chen, Van, and Dark Fox.
So
Dark Fox, the half elf.
Super edgy.
Half elf, half elf.
Half elf and half elf, yes.
The human monk.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Shin Shin, and the Furbolg Van.
This is just beautiful.
Furbolg Death Clerics.
All right.
That's normal one.
So, you guys are level 5,
Obviously.
so you guys have been in a party at least for a little while. You can come up with any story you want. In the interest of time, you guys already are in a established adventuring party.
Okay.
So you can have a few minutes to introduce your characters in a minute. Basically, what the idea is we're starting out because your half elf friend.
What?
Quarter elf? I'm half drow, half high elf.
He's half elf, half elf.
Yeah.
Oh, 50-50. Is the word mulatto acceptable? Is that not PC?
Now, who's
I don't
being
know.
racist?
I'm from the South, man. I'm repressing a lot of stuff right now.
Basically, we're just trying to give him his drow abilities without making him a drow.
Thanks, DM.
Okay.
Because I don't want him to get killed. Because basically, the setting is
Oh, right.
so for Jeff, this is my campaign map. The main continent that everyone is on.
Is there a swamp?
There is a swamp. There's the Dismal Marsh down here.
Okay.
Otherwise, there is another swamp
Excuse me.
down here
Acid
called the
Boys?
Acid Bog.
Oh, Acid Bog. That makes more sense.
So one of the things about the campaign world is that there are pockets of basically magic that have created regions. The Acid Bog is known for being an acid bog, literally.
Yeah, no, I've already incorporated my backstory into your map.
Okay, so the Dismal Marsh is
Is that the
literally
Lendalis Forest?
landless.
Landalus Forest.
That's actually where you guys are right now. It's commonly known as the Elven Forest.
Well, crap. That's where my tribe of Furbolgs got eradicated.
Ouch. So
Hey, that's where my character's
that's
from.
bad news for you. Just for campaign information, they started down here. They've since traveled across the world. They were down here for a while and then moved up here, and they're currently over here. So
Well,
they've
I
done
don't know
quite a
where
bit
we
of
are right
traveling.
now. No, that's right. We're underneath.
How long have the elves lived in Lendalis? Like forever? Okay. Could there have been a tribe of Furbolgs that got overrun
Yeah.
by undead at some point?
There's other races that live there.
Fantastic. Okay, so we're perfectly
but it
backstory.
is officially Elven territory.
It's a really big continent.
Okay, that's hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is roughly the size of North America.
Oh, wow. So Lendalis Forest is like the size of Colorado or something.
Or bigger.
Or big, or California, whatever.
Not quite California.
Texas?
I would say smaller than Texas. Maybe half the size of Texas.
Okay.
But it's
All right.
narrow-minded.
So you said there are undead in this campaign?
There are undead in the
Oh my
campaign.
god, there's so much.
So the backstory they came up with is my Furbolg's tribe got overrun by basically like a horde of undead at some point.
Okay.
And he fled into the nearby swamp and has lived there as a hermit for the past 60 or years.
Okay. That's completely understandable.
And when he fled into the forest, he found a old abandoned shrine to Rasa.
Okay.
And during his first probably couple of weeks in the swamp, he found this shrine. It was like the only kind of structure, civilization, sign of civilization anywhere around. Fell asleep by it. And that night, Rasa showed up to him in a dream and said that while the undead that killed his tribe was an unnatural event, the fact that they died was a part of the natural cycle. And that's when she kind of indoctrinated him as a cleric of the grave.
Okay. So you're kind of self-taught.
Yeah, very much so.
Self-learning.
Yeah, and he has been living alone in a swamp for like the last 50 or 60
Or you're a
years.
hermit.
Yes. You guys will find out. It's great.
That sounds good.
So, but I didn't know if there was like a swarm of undead that could have killed something, or
not well. Recently, there definitely are. In the past, undead crop up. There's necromancers all the time.
maybe this was like a precursor to what happened now.
Yes, it could
Okay.
very much be. And
Yeah,
you could
that
even
work.
incorporate that into your backstory that you develop and learn about when
Well,
you start playing.
And so over the past 50 or 60 years, this guy has developed as a cleric of Rasa, and has basically come to realize through like meditation and service to Rasa that something is unnatural in the world, like something's out of balance.
Yep.
And has been called to play a part, but he doesn't know what that role is. It's just like at some point, Rasa recently showed up to him, like appeared to him in a dream, because that's how she primarily communicates, and was like, "You need to leave because you have an important role to play, and you'll find out what that is."
Okay.
Gods are such an asshole.
Right? They showed up. You need to leave your home and do some shit, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Yeah, I have the power to totally
Like
make
I
it
could tell you,
super,
but I won't.
super obvious and ensure your success. But instead, I'm going to jeopardize everything because
So for
reasons.
for you two, this is set about 3 months before current time in the game.
Okay.
So fairly close to starting of the campaign.
Okay.
So basically, the state of the world at this point would be that there's basically rumors and stories about how there's growing bands of monsters and soldiers and barbarians that have been working together for no apparent reason.
Okay.
And they're starting to terrorize in the west. It's not really a problem around this area right now, especially not in the forest, but there's been stories of people who are traveling merchants, things like that, that there's some sort of organization going on and it seems to be pushing eastwards. And for the most part, people can take it with a grain of salt. Nobody really seems to care because it's happening in the west and there's a mountain range dividing the east and the west. So it's pretty much it is literally two different regions. And what happens in the west stays in the west. So they don't really care.
That's separated by the mountains of death.
Yes, the mount of death.
Mouth of
Death. Mouth of death, actually.
Mouth
It's
of
the
death.
mouth of
Okay,
death.
and that's the mountain range that separates the east and the west.
Yes.
Also, the Desert of Damnation helps too.
Yeah, that's a buffer.
We spent a week there.
I feel like that's a bad idea.
It was horrible.
They did not have fun.
It was not the best.
It's a desert of damnation. Like I would have heard the name, but like, nah, we're not going there.
That's where Renlith lost his wagon.
Oh,
It's another thing you as a cleric of Rasa would really love because there's a magical pocket in that desert too, which seems to anything that dies in the desert rises as undead.
that's not okay.
No.
We're pretty
not-
sure our horses are still there though. As
You,
skeletal maps.
no, yeah, you guys left them. I heard
Yeah.
that. You abandoned
So-
your horses in your wagon.
Taylor and Daniel. Well, I guess just Daniel. I don't know. You guys would know this too if you've been traveling with Jean. Is that he doesn't follow any god. He
What a surprise.
well, but
And he's pedantic.
he pretends to. He's not pedantic. He is.
The
He's
gymnast from Ocean's 11.
he's really pedestrian in the way that he explains things to the common folk. He's a charlatan,
Okay.
and what you probably pieced together is he's trying to like garner a following and start his own cult by removing people who are being like drawn to Terrasin.
Sure.
Based on everything that's going on, maybe
Terrasin
scared.
is an evil god. He's one of there's 6 greater gods. You're a follower of one of the greater gods.
One of the old gods.
Terrasin is also one of the greater gods.
Okay.
Like the OG gods.
I got that from context.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was evil.
So what I'm trying to do is like,
He plays a major role in the campaign.
so I'm trying to
Not that we're
convince
aware
these
of that
people
because-
so I'm trying to convince all these commoners to follow me using different skills like forgery and just trickery.
Are
And
you a
then
follower of Terrasin? Oh, okay.
no,
Have you
Sounds
heard of our
like-
Lord and Savior Terrace?
I'm better than Terrasin. Deal with
So
that.
you're like a snake oil salesman, but for cults.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I'm kind of like I'm almost exactly like Scientology, I guess. I've got shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're like my last one-shot character, a snake oil salesman.
Mm-hmm. Except, I'm not going to derail this campaign.
Wait, did we do anything in that campaign? Anyway,
Yeah, we eventually killed stuff.
You
and
finished it.
We finished
Yeah,
it.
you finished it.
oh yeah,
That
we
was
did. Yeah.
after I spent 2
Oh
hours
my
trying
God.
to sell stuff to the commoners.
Oh, I had a mouse or something.
An all cure or a cure all oil.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything was a cure
I literally carried around bottles of water
and like
colored water.
pigments. Yeah.
and
Is that the one where we made it on the spot? Our characters?
yes,
Yeah. Like we showed up, we rolled dice in order, and then chose classes and stuff.
Yeah, it was funny.
That was a fun one.
That's awful.
So,
it was awful.
so Dark Fox is a super popular bard. All the women swoon for him. He's kind of on a sabbatical though, you know, to discover himself and gain artistic inspiration.
Taking a break.
And like he would have loved you, and I think he's just like drawing so much inspiration from the word death. Not nice.
Racist clerics our colors are black and white, right?
I
I have the
think it was
thing.
green. No, terracing was green.
Mesa,
Pop it up.
gray, black, and white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
I don't know.
Your gods have 3 colors.
I don't know why we're still hanging out together necessarily, but I could see the draw.
The grayscale god.
Right on.
She's neutral. It's pretty close.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Just looking for inspiration in the world. Also, he's pretty badass.
The label when I see it.
Oh, great. So, your characters have been summoned by an archdruid. And basically, he's looking for able-bodied people who can help out with some research and exploration. And because you're a half-elf, he felt that you were trustworthy and popular enough and discreet enough because of your low-key skill set and disposition.
I know people.
Yeah, but you know how to keep your mouth shut and talk about things in ways that people aren't going to care, for lack of better words. So you've been summoned to an excavation site because they need some sort of support. They haven't really told you what to this extent yet. Basically, just that you'll be well paid for the work, and that you'll be supporting an elvish initiative.
Okay, I'm down for the cause.
So basically what you're led into is a excavation site of ruins. And there are a number of elvish guards that are patrolling the ruins. There are researchers and investigators that are basically excavating the ruins, searching around, reading glyphs, trying to find hints about the old ruins, anything like that.
Is this the ruins?
This is the ruins.
The whole thing.
Just your left side of the hedges.
The high side of the head. These are the ruins.
Yes.
And then this is something else.
Yes.
Okay.
So you've got ruins. You've got a river, and past the river, across the bridge, is basically where the ruin site is and excavation site is. On the other side of the ruins is basically the camp. There are tents for the guards, for the excavators, for the researchers. There's also a pen for the horses, the livestock that are kept there. There's some guards that are mulling about there, and there's 2 special tents that are set up, larger, separate from the other tents. And otherwise, it's a great grassy area that's filled with the various sized tents. People are working at the excavation site across the river, which lies east of the camp. There are rows of similar tents, where, like I mentioned, with the excavation work. But further down the line, there are the 2 larger, more elaborate tents, obviously for important dignitaries. One of those is, the Archdruid. Archdruid Ilianus. He's an elf Archdruid. He basically controls the elvish lands. That's what he's the Archdruid of. Basically the southwest corner of Sorengard, which is the east side of the map. The other tent is for the leaders of basically the research party. And the research group that is heading this is the ostentatiously named Elvish research and revival of past histories and forgotten lore.
Does it have an acronym?
No.
Fucking hell.
It is
Elvish revival of past histories and forgotten lore?
Yes.
You should have made the name, the acronym, archaeologist. That sounds
Why do
elvish.
you hate us?
That'd be even longer, and they'd always refer to it by the full name.
Exactly. I
That'd be
hate elves so
dreadful.
much.
Maybe you can pitch that, and they'll change their name.
They just look confused. Even if it spelt it out as an acronym, they'd be like, why would you say archaeologist?
Yeah.
That's not what it is.
That's not what it is. It's the anthropological.
So is it the Elvish revival of, or is it just Elvish revival of the past?
At first, I thought you said Elvis.
I did
The
something.
Elvish
Elvis
research and revival of past.
I was like, I'm down for that.
The Elvis revival, archaeologists for digging up old shit.
The Elvish research and revival of past
Revival.
histories and forgotten lore.
Hey man, this is kind of my history. Can you guys like try to
It's
take
at
it
least
serious?
partially my history.
Apologies. What's half your history?
I'm a double
The other half is
bastard.
blood
I don't know my
burger
mom
wolf.
or my dad or my other mom or my other dad.
Oh, never.
He obviously doesn't
About
know how
six
that
races
works
shit.
either.
You don't know elf biology.
I don't know my life.
I know it well enough.
I can math.
Who's the bard in this party?
I don't know. Oh, jeez.
All right, and you also know that is currently headed by a female historian. Her name is Esperil Slyhorn, second in command, and the site lead investigator here is Lestarian Giltheus.
Leth.
Esperil Slyhorn is in charge
Yes.
of the excavation, right?
She's actually the head of the entire organization. So evidently this is important.
Of the Elvish revival of past histories and forgotten lore. And the second in command was who?
He's not second in command. He's the site lead investigator. So he's in charge. He's the one
project
that's
manager.
officially in charge of this site.
That's exactly what I said. Project manager. Right.
Yeah, he's the project manager, and for some reason, basically the CEO is here.
And that's who?
His name is Lestarian Giltheus.
Of course it is.
I don't know why I read it down. I can't read my own handwriting, and I will never say it out loud.
Leth Giltheus. Which is what I would
I got a high
call
charisma. I
him.
can get away with saying anything I want.
So, for reference on the
It
game
doesn't work for
table,
Renlith.
the tent with the bear claw sign is the druid tent, and the tent with the other sign is the historian tent.
CBS logo.
Oh, look at those awesome signs.
Yeah, I
Does it
know.
cover
Were
the
they
25
cool?
long receipts?
I'm always disappointed though that you just used the cave walls as roofs.
They work very well as roofs, and I don't need caves
Or,
right now.
What's it called?
Ceilings?
Fog of War.
Fog of War, yeah. I need better Fog of War stuff. I just can't.
Black
figure out.
construction paper?
Problem is, I need them like small pieces, and then I've got to like cut small pieces, and
Effort. You're clearly not your wheelhouse.
yeah, effort's tough.
Also spending money, but you'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll learn.
Right on.
He found these in a dumpster.
Hey, that's fine.
No, these were like the cheapest things I could buy, and I
Mhm.
debated on buying these for how many months?
Too many.
It wasn't actually that long because you got sick of us playing in your living room, I think.
No, the reason
We've been living for a year.
Man.
The word is frugal.
excessively or obsessively frugal. Obsessively
I think the
frugal.
word you're looking for is stingy.
More like he has fun with it.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
As a habit.
Yeah.
Or as a hobby.
So
It is
where
kind of my hobby.
Yeah.
where are we?
You're in the camp, so basically right in front of
Did. You are here?
You've been brought in by some of the Elvish guards, and basically you've been told to report to the Archdruid for assignment, and for any information you need.
Ranger Joe would probably almost be the best character. I'm like, damn. My wife wanted to know why I always play edgelords. I'm like, I don't always play edgelords.
Hey, man, you're closet edge.
Joe's not an edgelord at all.
We accept your alternative lifestyle.
No, emo. She used emo.
Oh,
Just tiny little D6s.
he's not that.
Those are
evil.
from Daniel because of fireballs.
Itty
Yeah.
bitty.
I have a whole
Cute.
thing. I
Yeah,
originally bought them for
it's not
Shadowrun.
cute when he pours half of
Fuck
it
that
into his
game. Sorry.
Because I played Shadowrun with D6s.
Yes, I'm keenly aware.
I don't know if it's still D6s, but it probably is.
I have like 15 D6 I bought for that game. We played it once and was like, this game sucks.
Yeah.
It's not my bad.
So,
I can just say, over there,
Oh, wow, this guy's got laser pointers.
No, he bought him.
I bought him a laser pointer, so.
Man, long-term groups are crazy.
The broom handle wasn't working.
So humans, they're okay with, especially if they need something, right? How about fearbolts?
Furbolgs are fine.
Okay.
They haven't seen them in a while. They thought they were all dead.
Oh, okay.
Triggered.
Oh, let's put
I have the best posse.
the half.
Oh, so I'm 7.5 feet tall.
Jeez.
Furbolgs are big.
Yep.
I weigh about 300 pounds, also in the game. My skin is kind of a bluish gray, and I'm covered with more of a brownish kind of fur over most of my body. I have a red nose, kind of an elongated face, and sort of greenish blue hair.
Sounds just like Rudolph.
Yeah, if he weighed a lot, and kind of 7.5 feet tall, 300 pounds, but like sort of a lithe, muscular sort of build. Don't get a lot of food in the middle of the fucking swamp, but enough. Also, I have a little weasel that sits on my shoulder.
Oh, you have a pet. Oh, you have a pet.
His name is Poe. And I have like a little pouch of like acorns and nuts that I routinely refill and harvest that I feed to the weasel.
Would that count as my favorite enemy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can also snap and he disappears.
It's a good thing.
So no, then, right?
I think he's still considered a beast.
He's not actually a beast. He's a fae.
Yeah,
That's right.
So
It's
yet
not-
another.
Yet another.
Take
Not
it away.
even.
Is that a thing? Did I unknowingly?
He's a ranger.
Step into a trope?
My favorite enemy is Beast.
Oh, this is a fae. It's not an animal.
Yeah,
Well, Beast never comes up.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen a beast except for in a zoo once.
Not that it matters.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
gave you that room of beasts
That's-
and you just turned the candle off.
I did.
That's right.
I feed 'em all at once.
Favorite enemy's beast. Never see beast.
So
I thought you were just going to sit there and murder them.
Ranger.
Yeah,
He's not insane.
I thought he was.
So
Also, there was a turtle in there, and real
Jan
life Taylor
Chin
was turtle.
is about 5'2",
Ooh.
and
like 7.5 feet tall, 5'2".
yeah, he's 5'2".
It's like if I went to China.
Super duper skinny.
Imagine that.
Yeah, super duper skinny. That's it. He doesn't have an ounce of fat on him.
All of my clothes are super worn. I have a breastplate that looks like it was probably found in a swamp somewhere because it was. And I have a cloak that has been patched probably 500 times. It's at this point, it's more patches than cloak. It's brown and green, and it's got a little bit of black kind of mold growing around the edges. It's been in a damp climate for a long time. Yeah, it's not healthy.
And Dark Fox is wearing black shit.
It's just all black head to toe.
You're leading us.
I'm a ninja.
Yes. I'm leading my group. Yes.
Oh?
That's
All right, whatever, man.
Say whatever you want.
It's not so much like my group. It's just like my entourage.
Mom.
Van is like 20% Shrek, 60% the dude, and 20% the apprentice from Dragon Slayer.
I'm a weird superstar. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah, just you
Right? I
know.
have no idea.
I'm the only person in the world that really knows the way.
So you're my.
Your leader? Yeah.
What do they call it? Not a yogi. What is that called?
Your guru?
Guru.
Guru.
You're my guru.
I am the guru.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is my guru. This is my death cleric. You know.
I don't like that term.
My normal entourage.
Oh, what? I so love that I have a guru. God, I was from the West Coast. I hope my parents are rich. Are my parents rich? Or my dad?
That's entirely.
You don't
up
know
to you.
any four of your parents, you said.
No, I do. I just pretend like I don't because
Yeah,
I hate them.
That's edgy.
Yeah. You know what they made me do?
It's like your parents are all accountants.
Yeah.
And they're super loving and supportive of everything you do.
I hope they come up at some point. Like we go to their house. I'm like, oh, just so you guys know, this is the worst. Just be prepared. Oh, you're home. Oh,
Like
I'll make
super
your
loving
favorite
parents.
food.
Then like
I kept your
nurturing.
bedroom the way you love it.
Like God, mom, you're the worst. You're the
Oh my god, just kill me now. Slit my fucking wrists right now, Mom. Just do it.
Wow.
And Van would say, while death is a natural part,
I
of
skipped
life,
a lot of
premature
poems
death
today,
is an
guys.
abomination.
I skipped a lot of poems.
That's.
Oh my god.
And wrote a lot of poems.
I wrote a couple. I had to take a moment.
Kind of like tosses hair. Really.
I wish I was good at vicious mockery. I'm not. It's horrible.
So you like knock on the tent. How do you get someone's attention in a tent?
You knock on the post.
The post with your sword. Clang, clang, clang.
No, I just,
Clank, get out of here!
how do I do it?
With an inspirational song.
So we went to the
I don't
house.
see.
Alright. So we're going to the tent.
Yes.
Who are we going to see?
Get this started.
Do we know the bear tent is the right one?
You do. I told you.
Ilian.
Do we know?
Yes.
Okay.
You were directed. The
Really?
bird actually told you.
I got Esparial.
The archdruid.
Oh, that Archdruid Ilianus.
Yeah, we're going to the first one. Yeah. Tent number 1.
All right.
So I'll approach the tent and
The dark fox has arrived.
I'll stand behind and call out in Elvish. We're here to see the great Archdruid Ilianus.
Okay. There's silence for 5-10 seconds, and then the tent flap opens and walks out a human, probably in his 30s. He's definitely dressed like a stereotypical druid.
Quickly.
He's greens and browns. He looks like he's more annoyed than anything else, and maybe has a slight air of satisfaction to him. And he looks at you and says, you must be his next appointment.
Yes.
Good to meet you. He puts out his hand. My name's Jonathan Stryker.
The dark fox. I don't shake his hand.
No.
And this is my entourage.
That's okay. I've met weird people before.
Oh, then you don't need to meet them. Okay.
No, I was referring to you.
Those birds.
So you're here to see the Archdruid, are you?
No, we're here because the archdruid wants to see us.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Well, good. Well, I was just getting done with him. Maybe next time you meet the Archdruid, you'll be talking to me instead. Good luck there.
Are you the
Myself?
archdruid?
No, I'm not.
Van is drinking heavily from a wineskin in the background.
It's a big friend you've got there.
I say that was, yeah. And you're tiny.
I'm not tiny, I'm average.
He reaches out and he pats him between the horns on his headland.
Oh.
That's nice.
That's okay. Again, I'm used to dealing with weird folk. This is okay. You would be one of the giant kin, right? He's speaking in common, by the way.
So I'll respond in common and like, we share a distant relationship with giants.
I thought so.
This is Poe. He points to the weasel. Say hello, Poe. And he snaps his fingers, and Poe disappears. He snaps him again. He appears on the shoulder of the guy with the horns. Snaps it like he disappears.
Sorry, I was
Comes
trying to
back
decide if
again.
I wanted to do something equally weird, but I decided to not.
Because
This time.
nervously pets the weasel.
I could talk to your weasel for a little while, but
Oh, he loves conversation.
he'd probably be more talkative than the rest of you.
I must have missed. Where was the archdruid? Were we waiting? Sorry, I zoned out for a second. This is Jen. I was operating on a higher plane.
He just kind of stares at you. Aha! Weird indeed. No, the Archdruid is in the tent.
I basically wear shorts. That's it.
Just
Now I need to know, were you saying that to him, or were you just out of character?
The shorts bit was out of character. Everything else in character.
Okay. I was
I
really
Hi, I'm Jun Chin. I just wear shorts.
These are my shorts. It's a thing I'm trying to get going.
It'll catch on.
I like shorts.
They're
Streets
comfortable
ahead.
and easy to wear. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad someone got that.
Van belches loudly.
Okay, well, it was delightful not talking to most of you. Poe, good to meet
Hello.
you.
So we can just keep walking then into the.
Well, he's technically in your way, but he's trying to get out
No, I'm asking
between
him.
you.
Like, can we go see him now or?
Yes, please.
Okay.
It
I don't
was,
think I'll fit in that tiny tent.
It's a decent sized tent.
Okay.
You might have to duck a little bit,
Stoops down,
but
hunches
I
over.
mean, it's not a 7 foot tall tent, but it's like a 6 foot tall tent.
All right, so he kind of stoops.
All right, so the other druid kind of moseys his way off, waves to Poe a couple times as he's leaving.
Bye.
So inside the tent, it is basically looks just like it is outside, just with the tent. There's no floor to the tent or anything like that. It's just grassy. There is a old, not super old, but maybe 300 to 400-year-old elf sitting on the floor, cross-legged. And on either side of him are 2 dire panthers. They're massive.
I just walk over and plop down like, I want to say Indian style, but crisscross applesauce style, right next to the arch druid and go, hello.
Greetings. How can I help you? Oh, you must be the one I sent for.
Yes. I have a cape.
This is good.
Of course, it is a cape.
I am the Archdruid Ilianus Fargalore. I am in charge of the nature preservation of this excavation work, and you researchers have discovered that they're having some trouble investigating some of the darker areas of the ruins, and I was hoping to bring in some experienced mercenaries who could handle something for me and for them. If you're willing to take this task, they should be able to pay you handsomely, and any treasure that is not of historical value found will be yours.
Well,
And of course you'll be doing the elvish research and revival of past histories and forgotten lore society. A good service which they would owe you for. And favors
we
are worth
have
more.
no need of material coin.
Well, that's fine, but you would still be brokering the favor of a powerful elvish society.
Okay. Yeah.
no, I need this. I mean, I will do this to further my knowledge of the occult.
Now, I noticed that you've brought a human among us.
Oh, the tiny one. Yeah, he's nice.
This is my guru.
Can you speak for this one's quiet? Will he be
Jin Chen looks at you.
discreet? Can a human attain...
That was totally Van, by the way, not me. Also me, but mostly Van.
I was wanting to ask. Can your human be discreet, and can it maintain...
Are you looking for discretion?
Well, yes, I just said discretion. But can he maintain himself in a
I would trust this man
respectable manner?
with the PIN code to my checking account, and as a beneficiary in my will.
Your words mean nothing to me.
He is my
But at
guru.
least you say you would trust him.
No, I do vouch for the validity and whatever of this man.
Good.
Van pulls out
Because
a pouch and just starts knitting.
He's not very smart.
I will say that
what
what we are searching for here is elvish business, and it should be kept among the elves, at least for now.
I've never seen, he says in Elvish, I've never seen so many elves. There's like a lot of you.
There's not that many. It's not even a town's worth.
Oh, I've been living alone for a long time. This is a lot of people.
I can understand. Yes, of course. I do as well spend much time alone.
I have one question. Are the elves around here religiously affiliated?
Religiously affiliated. Specifically, I don't think so.
Thank you.
Is there an elvish god?
Maybe.
There are not really racial deities anymore.
Two,
Um,
probably.
They're basically just deities that certain races lean towards. There are some agricultural and foresty deities.
21 religion check.
Okay, so one of the other major goddesses that a lot of elves follow is Kyla, which is a greater goddess, and she kind of is agriculture, the earth, things like that. Another one that's pretty popular is a god Daltos, which is a god of the sky and birds, things like that. Those are probably the two most commonly worshipped by elves.
Kayla and
Kyla.
Kyla, excuse me.
Kyla and Daltos.
Deltas. So I'll turn to Jinchen and say, oh, the elves worship Kyla and Deltos. They're like the earth and the sky, kind of one opposite the other.
Pieces on the board.
I myself follow the teachings of Kyla, as whimsical as they are.
Oh, I follow Risa. She came to me in a dream.
Delightful. He doesn't seem very interested.
But as for the trustworthiness of my comrades, I do vouch for both of them. Neither one of them has any sort of negative affiliations that we have to be wary of.
It's hard to live so long and not be nihilistic.
Personally, I'm only here in charge of the research
I'm 22, I know.
the nature preservation of this excavation.
baby.
So, ultimately, any specific questions you have or more information you'll need, you should visit the tent of the Elvish Research and Revival of Past Histories and Forgotten Lore Society.
Tent number 2.
That way, you'll be able to get enough information you need and a tour or anything else. I'm mostly just here to make sure things go smoothly.
So Van's in the middle of knitting what appears to be a large scarf. Like, so who should we talk to over there?
Oh, no, I got it. I know.
Oh,
we're good.
Okay, all right.
All right, well, thank you for your time.
Yes.
As you are, of course, grateful for my time. We will head off so that we figure out where to go.
But if you need anything from me, do not hesitate to ask while you are here.
And if you need anything from me, I am Dark Fox.
Yes.
No, I think that's
Oh, so mysterious.
He looks around like Jin Shin and Dark Fox.
Yes,
He's like, well, I guess we're going now. Okay, all right.
that's a use for fog cloud.
It was nice to meet you guys. And he gets up and kind of walks out.
I cast fog cloud. I don't have it, though.
Now you need it. Smoke bomb.
What do I have? Minor illusion.
Ninja.
Light sparkle around me.
You just have to do distractions so they look away before you run away.
I cast thunder wave.
That's so
the tent balls go.
That's a little bit more of a distraction than I was thinking.
I got minor illusion.
There you go.
Me too.
You just make a wall in front of you.
I'm edgy. I'm not like secretive.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow. Do you even know Dark Fox?
No, I don't.
I bet you didn't start listening to the 4th album.
Wow. Edgy and hipster.
This is him talking about himself.
Yeah. Okay, so other tent.
We go to the other tent.
All right, the other tent has
We enter the same way.
2 people inside of it. There's a ancient-looking female elf. You're guessing she's over 700 years old. She moves slowly. She looks like she's going to talk slowly. She just looks like she has an ancient grace to her. You're pretty sure that this is going to be Esquirrel Slyhorn, the head investigator of the Elvish Research and Revival of Past Histories and Forgotten Lore Society. Next to her is a elf who's probably 200 years younger or so. It's male. He looks like he's probably wizardly. He's just got that scholarly, magical look to him. And he looks, if you had to put a word on it, annoyed.
Van walks over and plop, because I'm assuming the old elf is kind of stooped.
A little bit. She's a little hunched.
He walks over and
She's sitting in a chair.
plops down in front of her chair so they're eye level. He's sitting on the floor, but she's in the chair. And he says to her in Elvish, he's like, "Oh, hello, old one. It's almost your time."
Yes, Death Clerk.
She kind of looks almost indignant at you and says,
Goes,
"Young one, it's been my time for 300 years.
"It's okay. Would you like a guide?"
I don't
To
know
help
what
you.
you're talking about. I am the guide here.
No,
so
no,
you
for-
will listen to me.
Oh, you're very angry. You need to... Would you like some tea?
I have already had tea.
Okay. No, because Risa...
Young one, stop talking to me about the gods. I've heard so many stories about the gods. I don't need to hear about the gods. I need to know what you're here for.
That anger is not good for your blood pressure.
I think I got it from here. I am Dark Fox. I heard you need me.
Ah, yes. The druid said that you were coming. Someone who could help us. I don't see why we need your help, but I suppose you are expendable.
Expendable.
Is that being an asshole?
Yeah, she's old, cranky.
She's an angry lady. It's her time, but she doesn't realize it yet.
Time to die. Not.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
You don't need to be afraid of death.
We're all expendable.
I can help you with your
I
past.
told you to stop talking to me about your silly gods.
We're
now, Dark Fox,
Give me a sec.
how many seconds do you need?
How do you
Van
rhyme
is
with...
contemplating her calling Raisa silly.
I need a word that rhymes with "we're all expendable." I'll figure it out later. Anyway.
You're not very dependable.
So, what? I'm here, aren't I? I am the Dark Fox.
Are you here to
She's my
support
base.
us? Yes?
Yes.
Good.
I'm still an elf, aren't I?
I should hope so.
He squeaks.
Van is laying out sticks on the ground in kind of a weird
There are
sort
no
of...
sticks on the ground.
No, he has sticks with
okay.
him.
Because this floor is carpeted.
Oh, well, he pulls out of a satchel kind of like a bundle of sticks, or a faggot, if you will.
Yep.
And just starts laying them out in sort of a weird pattern, and begins what appears to be some kind of ritual. And while this is going on.
The old lady almost looks like she's twitching as you're doing it, but she doesn't say anything.
This is great.
Now, if you could just tell us what you need us to do, and we can help you out.
I will direct you to my subordinate, Lestarian. He can tell you everything you need to know. I have given you enough of my time already.
And I have given you enough of mine. But answer me one more question.
That is for Lestarian to answer.
That's okay. Is he here? Is that still?
Yes, he's the guy next to, and he kind of slowly gets up, almost like it's painful. Not like physically painful, but like just dealing with her. And he just kind of motions you to follow him as he walks out of the tent. He doesn't even say a word.
I'm gonna need about 6 more minutes.
You'll get out of this tent right now!
He completely ignores her. He just...
I leave, just as silent as the guy.
He just sits there fuming and staring at you.
So 6 minutes passes, and he casts augury as a ritual. And he pulls out like a set of kind of rune carved bones, and he kind of was like, Risa, like, what's gonna happen if is it a good idea to help this lady, this old angry elf who's about to die? And he casts the bones.
Okay.
And it's basically good results, bad results,
Meanwhile,
both or nothing.
Dark Fox and Chen Chen have left the tent.
Yeah, he's just still sitting there like, it's just 2 more minutes.
I think we're gonna wait for him to come out and just stare at this subordinate of a subordinate for 6 minutes. Unless you want to talk to him.
Who?
The subordinate. We got pawned off again.
Nothing. You get nothing.
So it's just neither good nor bad? Alright.
So
Wow.
So he comes out 6 minutes later and it's like angry chattering in Elvish, like, get out!
Alright, so for 6 minutes you guys can talk to Lestarian.
Okay.
So he basically, once he's out of the tent, he says, I'm very sorry for the head investigator. She has taken over the command of this site. It is evidently of great importance, and she thinks it's of more importance than it actually is.
Okay. I think a lot of people think this is pretty important. Otherwise, they would not have called me and my compatriots.
what is your take, if you doubt?
Well, my take is that, in short, the Elvish research and revival of past histories and forgotten lore believes that they have found the ancient Elvish capital. They're wholly and completely wrong. Well, maybe not completely wrong.
Totally wrong.
This is not the capital. This is not the capital, ancient, often referred to as Anfalen. This is merely a subordinate site. I believe it may be an old chapel or tomb, maybe a town. But the best we can hope for is directions to where we're eventually looking for.
How many sites like this has the organization come across so far?
This is the 43rd site
I can understand your doubt.
since I've been working.
Paths are not laid clear unless you're familiar with the path of the Golden Dawn.
On the bright side, this has provided a significantly larger number of overground ruins than most other sites. So that is why the head investigator felt necessary to come and overtake my command.
Is there a sense of desperation on her part?
I believe she wants to discover the capital before she has to retire.
That would explain a great deal. Are there any pertinent discoveries that have been made above grounds?
Yes. Besides a significant number of runes which we've still been unable to translate, we believe it's an ancient Elvish language. but there's no written dictionary or code phrase that we can decipher so far. So we've gotten nowhere. However, this particular site does have one intact ruin, save for one broken area. There's a mithril door to it, even, so we know it's something a bit of importance. There's a sealed room that is completely closed off that we have been unable to access. I have suspicions on how it can be opened, but no one here has the ability if it is requiring what I suspect it will. But beyond that, next to that sealed room, we've discovered an ancient collapsed stairway, and that's why we've brought in help. Because my researchers are researchers only.
Sure.
They do not deal well with dangerous situations. I need to bring in someone more experienced than a simple guard who can think tactically and on their feet without having to deal with and getting answers from a commander, especially ones that have been guarding excavation sites for their entire tour of duty. So, we have finished excavating the passage, and it has led us to a door, which we haven't just felt brave enough to open, for lack of a better word.
Understood.
And that's why we decided to bring in some outside work. As my lead investigator, or head investigator would have it put, someone expendable.
Sure.
Although I do not feel you are that way, she doesn't want to risk a researcher going through the door first, or even one of her precious border guards.
It's about this time that Van emerges hurriedly from the tent going, she is very angry. Like,
Yes.
like Elvis shouting comes out from her, like, like, oh, she's not happy.
No, she's not. She hasn't been happy for 50 or so years.
Yeah, you should brew her some chamomile tea. That'll really mellow her out.
We've tried stronger things.
Oh, would you like some mushrooms? And he pulls out a pouch full of like a random assortment of herbs. Like, they will really help you, kind of.
No, thank you.
He pulls one out and
But
eats it.
that explains much.
So
Yeah.
our charge is to secure the area for your researchers,
Yes,
essentially.
without breaking as much as possible. I don't know exactly what will be in the ruins, if there are any ruins, but we need them intact.
Sure. That sounds perfectly reasonable. The path is laid before us. No harm will come to us.
It seems easy enough, Van. I don't know. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Or we're gonna go look at stuff.
We're going to go underground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like underground?
Under magical ground.
Okay.
Are you claustrophobic?
No,
Okay.
I'm really big and I don't fit, but it's okay. Yeah, we could, okay.
Well, the good news is these are elvish tunnels, so they're not designed for large creatures.
Hello.
Yes.
I think. Have you encountered anything? Have any of your researchers encountered anything at different sites?
At different sites, no.
At different sites.
No,
similar
never
to
at a
this.
different site.
Hmm.
What do you mean encountered things?
Encountered any sort of creatures?
Oh yeah, that's what I thought you meant. No, never at different sites, no.
And what have you encountered thus far at this particular site?
Well, this site, nothing substantial.
Is it as obvious as you're making it, or should I roll insight?
That is up to you.
Okay. Well,
I'll let you roll insight for that. Because it's pretty obvious.
okay. Well, I mean, it's like a 10.
10. So you just got something nagging at you. The way he's talking, he definitely is concerned about something. And
It's not going to dissuade our efforts,
Yeah.
mind you. It is simply to prepare us. We're not concerned one way or another. You're not going to scare us away.
Can you give me a persuasion check?
Sure, I'd love to.
Is there something wrong
Natural
with the
1.
ruins?
No, not that we know of yet. That's why we're sending you there.
It's an 18 insight.
Okay, and what was yours?
My insight or
My
persuasion?
Your persuasion.
So my persuasion was a natural 1.
Oh.
So I assumed that while he was talking, he drifted off into talking
that's
about
exactly.
his cult.
He just kind of stopped talking to you and looked over and so basically talking to him, and somehow, even though you're only halfway paying attention, you get the feeling that he's concerned about something, but he's trying to brush it off. But whatever he's talking about that he's concerned about, this is new.
So I get the sense that maybe something's bothering you, and I was just wondering, like, it's okay, you shouldn't bottle it up. That's really unhealthy.
Oh yes. Well, I've told you that
It's okay.
the head investigator being here is a bit disconcerting. Now,
Is there anything
Dark
special?
Fox.
I've been slowly going.
Oh, excuse me. I had a question.
I thought you already asked it.
No, I just what's bothering you?
I told you it's a bit disconcerting. That
There's no is that because this is the angry old lady. She's very uptight.
it's a bit much having my authority usurped by her here.
Yeah. I can brew her a tea that'll knock her out for like a day or two.
That's okay. We've had this discussion before.
Oh, okay.
Dark Fox.
Oh my god, Joe's gonna be drinking so much tea.
I can brew all kinds of teas.
What
It's
is your
great.
expert analysis of the situation?
So,
Sorry. That's your thing. I'll let you have it.
stop taking my thing, man.
All right, I'm sorry.
So it seems like I could definitely check it out, and I'm probably going to fix whatever the issue is, and
That's why we brought you.
yeah, and everyone's going to know Dark Fox.
It's like, you know,
Oh, I mean, everyone already knows me
it's not a
already.
big deal.
but To add to my
Guards of a big deal.
yeah,
You can. We're okay with you publicizing the fact that you've done good. We just want to keep exactly what this is low key.
yeah, people don't understand his poems anyway. Yeah,
And that's why they brought you in.
No one understands your point.
Because, like the druid said, no one understands what you say anyway, so it's okay if you talk about it.
but yeah,
We can
I mean,
understand
and if
your
you're
discretion about the subject in particular. We don't want people flocking into this area and finding out that we're excavating ruins and still learning. We don't want to bring in unnecessary attention while we're still working and learning.
OSHA. Are you worried about the structural integrity of the actual tunnels?
Is there a god of nature, like in general, or just
That- The general nature is Kyla.
kind of? So he says to the
She's like the goddess of the earth, essentially.
okay, like Gaia, sort of.
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
Seasons, the earth in general, agriculture.
he says to Lestarian.
Yes, sorry.
He's like, Kyla probably buried these ruins for a reason. Maybe they should stay buried.
Well, they've been buried for a very long time, and we're just trying to learn from them. You have nothing against knowledge.
No, but if it was buried for a reason, it was probably a good reason.
Well, that's why we're bringing someone like yourself in to learn about them carefully.
Oh, okay. We can. Yeah. All right.
He totally bought it.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Well, no, we have. I'm gonna talk for everyone now. We definitely have no issue helping you guys out, though.
Good. So no concerns.
Is there anything bad in the ruins?
Well, we haven't been into the ruins.
Oh, well, like if you had to guess.
Well, I couldn't even begin to guess. These ruins would be ancient, long older than any elf.
Alright. The reason we're here is because there is the possibility, and there's only so many people in the world who can handle. That was me. Something
Can you
actually
give me a
bad.
persuasion check?
Who?
Dan.
Damn.
Persuasion. Oh,
Yeah.
that's not good. This is not my wheelhouse. All right, come on.
I have a +9.
2.
Okay, yeah, so he's just like, no, that's about all there is.
Very good.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Insight check.
I see no reason to doubt him. I mean,
It's as I said. I've seen nothing in my divinations.
I've never had a single fan lie to me. Give them chest like all my fans.
Oh, right.
I also have not had a single van lie to me.
No, we're good people.
Well,
For
would you like a
both.
tour of the site?
I mean,
I'd love to see the ruins.
Wonderful. It's best to do during the day.
Yeah.
So he ushers you across the bridge, and basically he starts on the site closest to Jeff.
This one?
Uh,
Oh no, over here. Sorry.
Yeah. Past the hedge. All right. He kind of looks around and he points to the people in the area. Says, "These are some of my researchers. They are currently looking for any clues and looking to see if there's anything below ground level. We know that the ancient elves built both above ground in the trees, ground level, and below the ground. Primarily, we believe most of their structures were above ground because there's very little left. Less than we'd expect to be still around based on the age of the ruins. We'd expect to see bigger foundations. That or the societies were incredibly small. We're still learning though." He points around to the basically the architecture, and they're all mostly collapsed walls, things like that. There's rubble all around, but what's still intact is very precisely and intricately crafted. There are ornate, excessive runes written on the walls, and it's almost like a written history. Maybe, since you can't read it.
what's it written in?
It's a language you don't recognize. It looks vaguely Elvish.
What we said was it's possibly an ancient Elvish capital, and there are ruins.
10 history check to recognize it?
Definitely don't recognize it. You've never seen anything like
Alright.
this before.
No, it's there. Have we seen something in the other campaign?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to metagame too much about what we already know about stuff.
Like, do you guys know what
We don't
the
exist.
name of this place was?
No, that's part of the. Like I said, my head investigator of the Elvish Research and Revival of Past Histories and Forgotten Lore believes that this is the ancient site of Anfalen, the Elvish capital.
But you don't think
But it
so.
is that is entirely wrong. This is a sub-site.
Why is that wrong?
This is not large enough to be the capital. There's not enough.
Did they build underground?
Yes, I said they built it.
Right, but couldn't it be larger underground?
Yes, but elves. From what we do know of the ancient Elvish society is, we believe that most of their society was built above ground.
Oh, okay.
Very little was built below ground. The best we can say is that religious things were built underground, and
Oh.
almost, from what we've discovered, almost like bunkers have been built underground.
Okay.
Have you not been able to derive any other significance or hypothesize as to why?
Well, we believe there was. We know that there was a great conflict in the past between the races,
Okay.
and we believe that most of the underground buildings in the ancient Elvish society were either religious in nature or protective in nature, or both.
Is there a... Obviously, we can't read any road signs or signs at all. Would there be some sort of key thing that we would look for, or would I know this already as an elf, that would definitely say that this is the capital? Like some sort of weird landmark that the texts describe, or history or something?
Size, and we're looking for a map, hopefully. We haven't found a map yet of the ancient world.
Okay. So there is no clue besides size about the
No.
ancient capital city.
Places we found so far have been very minimal in the pictures that we found. Almost all of them have been written, and it makes it incredibly difficult with us not being able to understand the written language.
Right.
And having no reference. If only we could crack the code, we could understand what it says. We'd know everything.
Are the rest of the sites low walls and rubble with ruins?
This is the largest.
No, I mean in
surface
this
level.
different sites in this encampment.
Yes, almost all of it is very similar to this, except for in the corner on the opposite side, which he mentioned was the intact ruin. There's no ceilings or anything on these. There's just low rubble walls.
And we could pretty much just see over all of them.
Yeah, there's slight hills, trees, and things like that, but
Okay.
you can get the feel for this whole area.
So,
not
15
huge.
history to determine the age of the stone.
You're guessing just by looking at it with the quick time you've got here so far, over 1,000 years.
Oh, This place is really old.
And was this all excavated or like found? What we're looking at now.
You basically realize, looking around, you're actually in a basin. So they have excavated most of this area.
Okay.
They did. He does tell you that basically this was found because, basically by magical detection, and by finding some pieces that were above ground.
I'm gonna cast detect magic.
They've been excavating this place for over a month.
Detect magic.
I'm gonna cast detect magic.
Okay.
Because he said that.
Okay.
I don't know how to detect magic.
Well, you cast a spell. You have it. You want the specifics?
I actually have like spell cards.
Well, I'm almost to the page as well to tell you specifically. Takes an action, concentration. You can sense presence of magic within 30 feet of you. You can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic affinity. Can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. So, when you basically detect magic, besides detecting some magic on Lestarian himself,
Sure.
Various different schools, the walls of these buildings radiate a faint abjuration magic, very, very faint, and it's almost like it's in patches.
I see what you mean by the magic. It is kind of like a beacon.
It was enough to where once we discovered, when we were doing long-range searching, something came up on the site. And once we came and started excavating, we found more. And there's just latent magical energy in the area.
And is this any more or less than any other equivalent site?
No, it's fairly similar.
Okay.
All of them just have a very faint, weak magical energy to them.
Well, let's continue the tour.
What school?
Abjuration.
Oh, right.
You're not allowed to know.
Yeah, you're not allowed to know.
Well, I was asking for his benefit.
He already
He told
asked.
me, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, abjuration.
Or I told him, I forget which. But I told him either way.
You told me.
I don't think he asked for it.
Also, our tour guide is covered in magic.
Yes.
Do you have any magic on you?
The only thing that glows magically is the weasel.
Okay.
The magic weasel.
Do you have any magic on you?
Only my third eye.
I sense it.
Which doesn't glow.
No.
It appears to be closed.
It's there. Yeah.
So he walks you around a little bit longer and basically just does the same spiel over and over again. You get the feel that there's a couple different buildings that they've excavated, but none of them are really sizable. And based on the number, you would probably tend to agree that it's not a huge site.
And all the workers, do they pretty much look like people who you wouldn't want to send on a quest?
They look like bookworms.
Okay.
The guards are the barest sense of guard. They look bored out of their mind, and they look like they've never actually seen combat.
So they look like elves.
Aw, they've got bows and like short swords or daggers, but they don't look like they're especially proficient in them.
Suction cup.
This isn't a USO. It's not a USO tour. Otherwise, I'd like meet and greet. You know.
The most they're wearing is leather armor, so they're very lightly armed, and they're not, like I said, they're not alert, but there's a decent number of them.
Like trained to guard, not trained to quest.
They're trained as like basic bodyguards or patrol
Right.
units.
Okay. So yeah. So basically, the point of that was it makes sense that they would need people like us.
Yeah.
By looking around.
They need something more. You feel like Lestarian might know something about magic, but he's definitely not like a combat caster.
Right. And we don't actually have a sense of combat. So as a group, I don't think, do we? With each other, like we're capable. We're level 5 for Christ's sake, but I don't know. I don't see myself as a fighter. I see myself as a
Lover.
Yeah.
Just picture him like every night by the campfire writing in his diary.
But like if someone hired me for something, I wouldn't see it as I need your sword. It's more like I need your mind.
Interesting.
Is how I would see them hiring me, whatever their actual intent was.
All right. So eventually he takes you to this closed off room, and there's a large mithril door standing on one side of it. But
Stand for him to go bell lock.
But the mithril door is sealed. There's no lock or anything on it. It's just a big honking wooden door. It's in pristine condition. There's runes all over it, and they have not touched it. Because right next to the door is a broken area that provides access because the walls just collapse there.
Well,
So there are 2 elvish guards guarding that area, basically the entrance to it. And then beyond that, there's 2 researchers inside of that area. Looks like they're scavenging the walls and trying to get any gleams of information they have. These walls are actually glowing with a faint blue light, and they are heavily runed. Again, it's basically partially arcane, but it's primarily the same ancient language that you can't understand. In one corner is a section that, based on the dimensions of the room, you can tell that it's a small room of some sort. There are runes all along that, and there's a door on one side of that wall. It's again a mithril door, and it doesn't have any obvious way of entering it.
And this is as far as they said they've gotten, right?
The other thing is, on the other corner, there is basically it's not really a set of stairs, it's more like a passage going down into the earth. And
that's where we're going.
it continues down for maybe 30 or so feet at a fairly steep incline. And it looks like it ends in a door. And that is where they said that's as far as they've gotten.
So, 18 history check from the mithril door.
Okay. You know that mithril is a fairly uncommon material now. Maybe just downright rare. It's not found very commonly anywhere other than this forest.
Runes or inscriptions or anything?
So
like that?
the runes and inscriptions are similar to the other ones.
The weird language.
In the weird language, you can't really understand them. You know there's probably some sort of historical significance to it. Looking at that and thinking about what you know in history, the only significance you get from it is that there are runes that look similar to Elvish runes for royalty.
Mm-hmm. I think some important people used to live here.
Anything magical about it? If it's within 10 minutes? Also, I can cast it magic at will.
He's been taking you through the whole site slowly, talking, so it's been more than 10 minutes. But you can redo it.
I can. I do.
And redoing it, the magic...
It's a cantrip?
It's a feat.
He's got a feat that lets him do it at will.
What?
What feat is that?
The drow one from
The drow feat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
So this whole room...
The drow, not drow.
The glowing lines, they're all magical. It's almost like the magic in this room is intact, whereas the other buildings, it wasn't intact. It was faint and dying. The magic in this room is still strong.
Like it's keeping things together?
Yeah. And it's strongest on that sealed room.
Can I get anything from it, or just like, okay, there's magic?
You know that there's abjuration and evocation magic and transmutation magic. There's multiple schools of magic.
There's a door to the sealed room.
Yes.
The door is sealed.
I'm going to go up and knock.
Okay. It's solid. It sounds like metal. Nothing happens.
Anything?
Otherwise, people just kind of look up at you.
It's a door.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have the
I
greatest
don't think
entourage.
anybody's home.
No, we haven't been in that room, as I told you earlier.
Do I need a roadie, or do I have a roadie?
I walk up to one of the weaker looking elves
Yes,
nearby.
2 researchers.
Yeah. Say,
They're number 2.
do you have any fear?
One of them just looks up at you, wide-eyed. Why are you talking to me? I'm busy. I'm working.
I can cast
Goes
fear.
back.
Are there any animals around? Like, I know it's kind of an excavation site, but
No.
so there's nothing?
Not in this area. There's like birds in the trees, but there's not like animals running around the site.
Are there any, like, cracks or seals in the door at all? Or is it
No.
complete? There's no holes, nothing?
It's perfect.
Does it have a
It doesn't
handle?
look like it's aged.
A handle or a pull or a latch or
Nope.
anything like that? No.
No handle, no pull, no latch,
A button.
no visible
Alright,
hinges.
I'm gonna
Pulleys.
It looks like it. The only reason you can say it's a door is because it's made of different material. Otherwise, it looks like it's flush, perfect with the wall.
So
Careful, it's magical.
Jen Chen is going to start looking around the walls for.
We're spending the next hour at this wall, by the way. Yeah.
I figure.
I'm trying to locate a release for the door. I'm also, while I'm doing this, I'm asking our tour guide if they'd found, just RP it, I guess. As I'm looking around inspecting, have you found any items or trinkets or notations whatsoever that may give a clue on how to enter this room?
No one else has found anything, but I believe I have a reasonable explanation of how to enter this room.
I investigated at 12.
Is that the blood of a furbolg?
It is not.
Oh no, sorry, that was the beginning of my poem. What are you guys talking about?
Jesus Christ.
And so you have an inkling?
I do.
Would you care to share that with us? Or me? Or Dark Fox?
Those are great. There's 2 of these doors in one small room. There's a big possibility that we will come across this type of...
I don't think you will. And in all the excavations we've done so far, we've never found a room like this before.
Okay.
But there's 2 doors like this in a row.
Yes,
You're saying there's not going to be a 3rd door like this
I am not.
anywhere in here?
I am not.
Not even the one at the bottom of the stairs?
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
The door to the bottom of the stairs is not like this door.
What about the next room over?
I have not been there.
Right, so you don't know. It could be.
It could be. If it is, you will not get in.
Oh.
And your mission will be done.
I'm gonna look at the seam of the door.
There is no seam.
So it's like melded to the stone.
Looking at it, it's like perfect. Like I said, the only reason you know it's a door, the only reason you know it's a door is because it's a different material.
Well,
And they're all better magicians than you.
are you ready to go down?
Magician. What?
You ready to go down?
Dark Fox.
To descend?
In
How do we
confidence,
go down?
I can tell you that based on my research, I believe this door can only be opened by Elvish royalty.
Huh.
Well,
And that
fresh
may
out
not
of
even
that.
be possible at this time. Because if it does not match the blood of the Elvish royalty from that time, it may not be unsealable without extensive heavy magic. Something I do not wish to employ at this time. Personally, I believe it's some sort of treasury or family heirloom room.
Intriguing.
So 15 history to remember the name of like an important Elvish royal at some point.
So the Elvish royalty have been...
Bo and Joe.
Wow. No, not Bo and Joe. Where is it? Oh,
Nobody knows my real last name. He could be royalty.
here it is.
Yes.
Um...
Not him. I don't know, actually.
The current Elvish does have monarchy, although it's actually a fairly
Looking for old school.
yes. The Elvish monarchy for basically all of recorded history has been under the same family, ruling family,
Okay.
and that is the ruling family. That is their last name is Najalis.
Najalis?
Najalis.
Najalis.
They currently have a king and queen and a prince. So there's currently
What's the name of the king? Well, I'm looking for an ancient king.
there's the current king has been alive for 500 years.
What about the one guy before that?
The one guy before that,
Because he was probably about the time frame I'm looking for.
let's see here. The
You don't know.
let me see if I can not butcher this pronunciation.
Okay.
His the first name was Emilium Gore.
What? One more time?
Emilium Gore.
Emilium Gore.
I want to give away too much because it's a whole new world for you.
Okay. He was the king.
Yes.
So I'm going to walk up to the mithril door. I'm going to put my hand on it and just say, in the name of in Elvish, in the name of His Royal Majesty, King Emilium Gore, I command you to open.
Okay, give me a con save.
Oh, shit. A constitution save?
Yep.
Fuck. All right. Hang on. I just had a spell sheet. All right.
Yeah, first save. First door.
14.
Okay.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Woo!
Yeah, did it work?
I mean, it's still closed. Like,
So now
I felt something tingly. I don't think we should touch it.
I don't think you should keep eating those mushrooms.
Would you like one?
I told you that it would most likely require Elvish royal blood, not words.
Well, it was worth a shot.
If you so choose, I feel that it was not worth it, and it could have been potentially dangerous, but it's your life, not mine.
Okay.
Should we go now?
Yes, please.
I want to explore the dark abyss that is this stairway.
Oh, there's an open door?
Yes.
Why didn't anybody say that?
Open doors are so
Blase.
Edgelord AF. You're so normal, people.
My ranger is a wood elf that plays the bagpipes. Totally different.
All right. So as you're
Yeah, totally.
Just so you know.
100%.
can I get your passive perceptions?
14.
Ooh. Oh, you're right, cleric. 13.
Wisdom's my thing. Although apparently touching random doors is totally okay.
What's passive perception?
It's 10 plus your wisdom modifier.
So 13.
Oh, that's
Plus
it.
your perception if you got it, right?
I don't know. I'd have to check.
Pretty sure it
No,
doesn't.
because that's your passive perception is 10 plus 3. Passive insight would be, or not 3, it would be, it's whatever it would be from a 10.
Whatever will
Like
be.
if you rolled a 10.
Yes, it's like if you rolled a 10.
Yeah. So your passive athletics
13.
is 10 plus your athletics.
All right. So the passage looks like it was entirely caved in recently, but it has since been dug out, revealing a tunnel angled down, which eventually ends in a large mithril door again. This one, however, has a handle and visible hinges.
I don't think I'm going to touch that.
The walls around the door have deteriorated significantly over time. During excavation, the walls were damaged, and now the entire area near the stairs is filled with rubble. Van, while you're going down, you kind of just happen to notice that something seems like a little off about this whole excavated site. For being 1,000 years old, you realize that some of this dirt looks almost too fresh. Like basically, it's definitely been excavated. But you think that especially around the door, this door has been opened before, and not in like 1,000 years ago, like a couple years ago,
So,
at most.
15 investigation. I'm going to kind of,
Okay.
I get that sense, so I'm going to kind of explore more.
So you start like
Right,
looking
open the
around the
door.
door
Just-
and kind of tracing the line and looking at it, and you're very positive now that this door hasn't been opened recently, not like in the last day or two, but in the last couple of years. Just basically by the dust lines and looking at the outline of the door, and you almost feel like there's just traces of something on the door. This door has been opened before these guys got here.
If you guys notice, like, the whole hallway's got, like, this much dust, and in front of the door, there's, like, this much dust. Like, this door's been opened a couple of years ago, I think. Like, it's definitely not been as old as this guy says. Like, something's been in here kinda recently.
I love intrigue. I open the door.
I don't know what that's.
I stand back
Okay,
at 10 feet.
the door is at best stuck.
Well, I have an 8 strength.
Okay.
Hey, this is stuck, guys.
Can you, maybe make sure nothing's gonna shock me if I pull it open?
Detect magic?
Okay.
I mean, that doesn't really do much, does it?
I mean, like,
I can try and see if it's trapped.
pointy
That's-
things. Yeah.
That's my investigation.
I'll do that.
Okay.
That's your job, right? Spiritual
Yeah,
leader?
perception check.
Perception. What is perception?
Oh.
5.
Nope.
Definitely not trapped. 100%.
Mostly, I looks really good. I think you're safe.
You're pretty sure it's just stuck. It probably just needs to be pulled.
Oh, right.
You're fine. You're with me. I know the path.
Do you not think you're strong enough? Because I can make you stronger.
No, so I can push, pull, drag, or lift 480 pounds.
I can make you
What's your
stronger.
strength?
It's 16,
But you get double for
But for the furbo trait, it's for push, pull, drag, lift, it's double what it normally is.
Yeah, because you're.
So would that give me advantage for powerful pillars? Or no? It doesn't explicitly say you get advantage on strength checks. Okay.
You just get to carry more.
Okay.
Push more.
I can double that capacity.
Strength check. Fucking 5.
Okay. You kind of lean on the door and pull. You pull, and it doesn't move at all.
Are there any gaps or seams around the edge?
Yeah.
Um.
It's not a perfect seal.
okay, so I'm gonna need a little time. Just bear with me.
So I'm gonna take an hour. I need some time.
I can guarantee you, Jin is not going to wait an hour.
So, you guys don't want to wait? Okay,
Like-
never mind then. Okay, no, never mind.
A little time.
I need a little few minutes.
When you're 120 years old, an hour doesn't seem like
about an
much.
hour. Like,
But when you're a human,
it's just 60 minutes. Like, oh, okay, you don't
What does
want to
that
wait.
mean?
You don't want to
what is
wait.
even 60 minutes? It's nothing.
What kind of equipment do I have? I have the entertainer's pack. I don't think that has a crowbar.
Oh, I almost took a fucking crowbar too. God damn it! I did.
I have a kettle.
Well,
And I almost took knock.
while you guys think about your options.
Every single time I take an explorer's pack and not a dungeoneer's pack. Ever.
I feel like you should learn your lesson after that.
But I'm never someone who wants to go in a dungeon.
I am not equipped for dungeoneering. Like, this is 100% not. Yeah.
So Jin Chen goes and tries to open up the door.
All right.
Our tiny little monk friend.
7. He
This
doesn't actually. It's like, I'm not ready.
You guys kind of pull on the door a little bit longer and realize this thing is obviously the most stuck door in the world.
is pretty stuck. Can you, like, maybe give me a hand with this?
He can help open the door and give me advantage, right?
Yeah.
I can also inspire you.
Or you could just help and give me advantage.
Nah.
I don't really need this.
Sit down, don't do that.
I hold up my quarterstaff. I'm like, I don't really need this. I guess. You can try. Never mind.
You gonna crowbar it with this quarterstaff?
Wood is usually.
I think that's gonna. I don't know if you're really going to get a good leverage on a quarterstaff. It's not really designed for that. To stick into a hinge.
If one of you guys just maybe want to help me pull it, like,
You want an advantage or you want a +8?
Is our tour guide still
Plus
around
8?
watching us be idiots?
Bardic inspiration? Or
Is he still
+8,
there?
I guess, but
He's up top.
which is better advantage?
Hey.
Let's see.
Wait a second. I walk up the stairs and or whatever and see somebody and get their attention and be like, we need a crowbar.
Okay. He turns and calls to one of the guards. A few minutes later, they bring you a crowbar.
Thank you. I go back down and I hand it to Van.
Does that give me advantage?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm trying this again.
Forgot we were in an excavation site.
There are probably a lot of tools laying around.
where can we get
And
some?
then for 3 hours, I tried to open the door and the crowbar was right there.
Should we bring a shovel with us?
What could we possibly need a shovel for?
At
15?
an excavation site?
You shove that crowbar in there. You pop the door open with some leverage from the fulcrum. Door pops open, no problem. Everyone within 10 feet give me a con save.
Fuck.
As poisonous gas comes out from the door.
Oh, man.
11?
Not quite.
16.
God damn it.
7.
7. Nice.
7. Definitely not gonna do it.
So you two got off really lucky. I rolled dreadfully. You take 4 points of poison damage.
Ow.
Raina, you take nothing.
I slip into the shadows.
I also slip into the shadows. But hacking.